Go. Hello and welcome back to boys varsity basketball. We got an exciting game for you. We have the Somers Tuskers. The Somers Tuskers coming off a buzzer beater loss against Lakeland. It was a last-second score by Lakeland and a heartbreaker for Somers. Somers definitely looking to rebound today, but they are taking on Byram Hill, who is sitting at 11-1, a top team of varsity boys basketball in 2025. They beat the team that the Tuskers lost to a few weeks ago, pretty bad, Tappan Zee. So Byram Hill is going to be a tough matchup, but we can never count the Tuskers out just yet. So as the teams get prepared, these are your starting lineups. So your Bobcats lineup, Byram Hill. So Zach Akobe is number 10, and Max Miller we have for Byram Hill. Chris Amanado for Byram Hill. Brody Seisler, and finally we have number 2 of Benjamin Wolf. And a great common name that we share, as I am Benny Silk calling the game for you today at Somers. Now for our Somers starting lineup, we have, and I'm just going to go through this fast. So we got Phil Santor, number 1. He's pretty good, top player of the team. Leo Kemming, number 2 on the team. And then number 3, we have Nico Quinones. And they are all guards. We also have Ben O'Brien, who is a guard, and Chris Spano, who is a forward. That is your Tuskers starting lineup. And if you may notice, Chris Decker is out. A big loss for the Tuskers today, as Decker, one of the big 3. Also on the Tuskers, few players to highlight. We have Timmy Monahan. We have Karif Martin and James Wynn. Julian Rosa is going to be out tonight, but we're going to take a moment break for the national anthem. Somers Tuskers coming into this matchup at 2-9. They're coming off a buzzer beater against Lakeland. And then we got Byram Hill. They're 11-1. They're one of the top teams in boys varsity basketball, and they just came off a win versus Tappan Zee, a team that the Tuskers lost to pretty bad last week. And yeah, the Tuskers lost pretty bad to a few weeks back, not last week. And as we get ready for this matchup, these guys have played each other before. This is not the first time they played each other. Last year, they took on each other twice. It was Somers who won both games. Somers beat Byram Hill 55-52, and then the Tuskers beat them 61-46 on January 11th, 55-42. Somers won on February 6th. And we're started, taken by Byram Hill already. Wow, they are, and Byram Hill is a big team, as you could see that right away. We'll get more onto that as the broadcast goes on. But they Their tallness is working out pretty good, and it was number 2, Benjamin Wolf, number 5 now of Zachary Effolby, shooting the free throws. Already starting to get points on the board. So first free throw hits the backboard. It does not go in, so the game remains scoreless. Effolby on for the second free throw. And it does not go in. Effolby, a top player, a highlighted player on the team by Coach James this week, misses 2 free throws to start. With that list is Christopher Amando. And in for Somers. Gonna get the basket, and Somers is up on the board first, but up for the basket. It's gonna be number 1 of Byram Hill, number 1 of Christopher Amando. And he's a player to look out for today on Byram Hill, but Somers tricking up Byram Hill early. It looks like they're getting stuff done as they're able to, as Byram Hill is not figuring out what Somers is doing right now. Sure they will at some point, but right now they're playing the pass on by the basket. Quinones up for the basket, hits the basket, does not go in. And number 2, and hits the backboard. I think it was touched by Somers of Chris Spano. Number 23 of Chris Spano, it looks like touches it, and it's going to be number 10 for Max Miller for Byram Hill. Throw it back in. Back for the Hill. Up for the basket. Number 4 hits the basket, but it's going to be rebounded by Byram Hill. Now up to number 1 for the basket. Hits the basket again. It's going to be stolen by Leo Kemming. Kemming finds Santor. Santor going up the basket, gets touched, but recovered by O'Brien. Back to Quinones. Quinones with the ball, back to Santor. Up for the 3, and it hits the basket. It's no good. If you're just getting here, it's Byram Hill, who currently leads 3-2. We got number 4 with the ball of Brody Cheesler. And up for the basket, it goes in. Number 1 of Christopher Amendio. And now O'Brien already down the court. O'Brien finds Santor. Santor with the ball, guarded by number 1 of Amendio. Now to Quinones. Quinones with the ball. Quinones back to Santor. Quinones. And it's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to be Byram Hill who takes it over. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. They still had time, but they throw it out of bounds. It looks like a Byram Hill player must have touched the ball, as it's going to be the Tuskers who are going to get the ball back now. Kemming with the ball to Quinones. Quinones finds Santor. It's going to be stolen by Amendio. Up for the basket, and it goes in for Byram Hill. And it's going to be O'Brien to Quinones. Quinones dribbling down the court. Back to Kemming, to Santor. O'Brien up for the 3. It's going to be blocked by Wolf. It's actually going to be number 5 of Enfolby, and gets it in for the basket. And the Byram Hill Bobcats are going to get it in. And looks like we got our first timeout. Joining me, I have Jaden Ferry. Who do you see taking this game today?
I don't know. I mean, Byram Hills is definitely a tough competitor. I know that they're going to put up a good fight today. I know that Somers really has to, put it together to make their win happen. And I think they do have a chance.
And yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting game. So I don't know, Somers, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, it's a rough start for Somers, but this Byram Hill team is pretty good, though the Tuskers are sitting at 2-9. You need 6 wins to make the playoffs. the Tuskers still need to get 4 more to make the playoffs. It may be a tough task, but we have some opponents coming up which may not be as tough, but we'll see. 6 wins to make the playoffs, but it's going to be Byram Hill getting the ball back. Number 4 of Caesar, as Caesar throwing it in to number 1. Back to 10 to 4. Up for the basket. Number 1 of Amendo. Amendo gets it for Byram Hill. And Amendo, player to look out for there. He's really a star, the star of this team, along with number 5 of Ephobe, but stolen back by Byram Hill. Byram Hill, and up the basket. It's going to be no good. Shoot it was Benny Wolf. Now dribbling down the court. We have Santor to Kemming. Kemming, someone they've been using today, but stolen by Byram Hill. And for the basket, it's going to be Miller. Now dribbling down the court. And it's going to be stolen again by Byram Hill. Byram Hill is just dominating on all sides of the ball. It's Amendo who gets the basket again. Somers calls another timeout, and 15-2. It's looking pretty bad for Somers. But who are the key players in this matchup for Somers? So we got, with Decker out, we got Philip Santor, Ben O'Brien, Chris Spano. Also, Kemming's been doing a lot for the Tuskers today. Pretty good in the passing. There's just players to keep an eye out for. And the stars for Somers today. And star players on Byram Hill. It's obviously Chris Amandio and Ephobe. So those are the 2 players to keep an eye out for. And Byram is 11-1. Somers is 2-9. And what is the key to success for Somers in this game? Somers needs to work on rebounding, which is something that Byram Hill's been doing a lot of today, along with stealing, and everything's just been going right for Byram Hill, and being able to hand Byram Hill with tremendous defensive pressure. That's the trick. But with the ball now, that's the key to success. But with the ball now, Quinones to Ben O'Brien, up for the 3. It's the hoop, and now we got number 11 in for Byram Hill, and now to number 4, the number 4 of Caesar, up for the basket and gets it. It's now 18-2. Philip Santor dribbling down the court. Philip Santor. Santor finds Quinones. Quinones going. Santor with the ball. Up for the basket, and it goes in. Somers adds to the board as it's going to be Santor who gets it. But right down the field is Amendo for Byram Hill. Dribbling down the court now, we have Santor. It's a 20-4 lead for Byram Hill. But Santor, Tuskers. And one thing about Philip Santor, talking to Coach James in his interview, episode that came out yesterday on the Soma Sports podcast, I suggest you should check it out. One thing he said, it's Philip Santor. He's one player that never gives up and always tries his hardest even when down big on the scoreboard. And that's what we saw a bit of there with that basket. But now 14 with the ball. And Monahan and number 23 of Nijaz. Going to be called, looks like it's going to be given to Byram Hill. Byram Hill easily gets the basket. So 22-4 is your score with 2 minutes left. A little more than 2 minutes left. Santor back to Martin. Martin already in for the Tuskers. Tuskers trying to figure out putting a few other players in. Kemming out also. Monahan is in. Kemming, so we only have Spano, Santor, and O'Brien in from the original starting lineup, but it's going to be stolen back by Byram Hill. Number 14 with the ball for Byram Hill to number 11 up for the basket. It's no good. Number 11 of Dellinger. Dellinger misses, and it's now Santor with the ball, dribbling down the court. Santor open, multiple players open, finds Monahan. Both seniors in Somers High School up for the basket. It goes in for the Tuskers. Philip Santor gets the three. Number 15 of Byram Hill, back to number 23, who throws it out of bounds. Michael Najiz. And the Tuskers have a little momentum going on here with Santor throwing it back into Martin. Martin now bringing the ball down the court. Martin going. Martin finds Santor. Santor drops, but is able to pick up, finds Chris Spano. Ben O'Brien to Santor. What a play, but it does not go in, and it's stolen by Byram Hill. Byram Hill, number 3, 14 up for the three. Hits the basket. It's no good, but a rebound by Byram Hill. It's up. It's no good again. This time stolen by Somers. That last basket shoot was shot by Julie. But with the ball, Spano loses it, but it's O'Brien who recovers. Now O'Brien with the ball now to Santor. Philip Santor with the ball. Philip Santor going for the basket now. We got O'Brien up for the basket. It's going to be stolen by number 15 of Byram Hill of Kendall to number 14 of Sokolov with the ball to number 15 with 10 seconds left. And it's going to be, play is going to be called dead at 8. Coach James coaching up his team. So Monahan to Martin. Martin with the ball. Martin finds Monahan, stolen by 23. Bone. Try to attempt a full court shot. It didn't even have the aim right. Had like no time to do it. Just try to throw the ball out of bounds, I guess, on the other side of the court. But it's gonna be Byram Hills who is gonna take a 22-7 lead heading into the end of the first quarter. 22-7. We will be back in a second after a commercial break. Alright, and welcome back. And we will not be having a commercial break. Let's just look. Let's just take a look. So, what plays may Somers scheme up to get the ball down the field? In this matchup. And just to slow the tempo in this game down as Byram Hill beats team with their size and athleticism, and that is exactly what they're doing to Somers. So Somers needs to start working on slowing down the tempo for Byram Hill. But with the ball, we have Martin, and now in for the Tuskers, we have number 24 swapping in, number 24 of Laro. Now with the ball, going for the basket. And number 2 touches it before it goes out of bounds. Number 2 of Wolf. And it's gonna be Martin who throws it in for the Tuskers. Martin to Santor. Santor going. Finds Martin. To Laro. Rayo. Back to Santor. Santor the ball. Rayo is down, but able to get up to Spano. Up for the basket. It goes in. A basket for the Tuskers and putting 2 more on the board, making it a 22-9 game. And now up for the basket is number 2 of Wolf. Number 2 gets the 3 for Byram Hill. Now Santor dribbling down the court. Martin, Spano, few players open, but Santor decides to keep it. And it gets basketball. It's going to be a foul, and on for the 3 throws, it's going to be Philip Santor. So the first free throw is up, hits the backboard. It does not go in. And now Santor back up for the basket again. Second free throw's up. Bounces on the basket, but it eventually goes in. 25-10 is your score. With the ball, we have Giaffi. Back to number 15, who throws it. '15 of Kendall.
Byram.
What?
I'll do Byram.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you wanted it. I don't know if you want to do it. Yeah, you could do Byram.
All right. Over to 15, trying to get in the paint. It's over. Outside the three-point and makes it in. Looks like penalty may be called there.
So Byram gets the three. But we got Martin. Let's wait to see what this penalty is. And while we wait and they figure this out, so these guys took on each other twice last year, and it was Somers who won both games. Somers won 61-46 on January 11th of 2024, and on February 6th they played again, where Somers won 55-52. But the Tuskers now with the ball, Monahan to Spano, back to Santor. Philip Santor with the ball back to Timmy Monahan. Up for the three, and it hits the basket. It does not go in. Taken back, however, by Spano and stolen by number 15. Going up for the basket. That goes in. Martin dribbling down the court. Back to Wao for the three, and they get it. The Tuskers get the three.
All right. Number 4 makes it up and almost gets a three-pointer. Byram gets a rebound here, and it's stolen by Somers.
And the Tuskers, Philip Santor to Martin. Martin back to Santor. Santor up for the two. It bounces the basket. It's no good.
And Byram, a little slip up there.
Mendo with the ball.
Number 1 trying to find his way. Oh, looks like Byram Hill keeps pushing over Somers here. Now score is 13-30. Byram is leading. Somers is going to get the ball. Throw it back in.
And we'll be back in just 2 seconds. Well, you could say them if you want. Martin dribbling down the court for the Tuskers. Up for the three, hits the backboard, does not go in.
Okay, Byram.
Amendo.
And does not get in for 3. Somers gets it.
Shooting that three for Byram is Caesar. Now Wao with the three, it goes in again! How about Wao? And folks, it's a 14-point game. Now dribbling down the court, it is Amendo, Christopher Amendo. Now to number 15 of Kendall. Kendall with the ball. Now to number 4 of Caesar.
Okay, number 1 for Amendo. Over to 4. Goes up for 3 and gets it short.
Goes out of bounds. Somers touched it. It's going to be Somers' ball. And it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be O'Brien throwing it in for the Tuskers. So Martin there to receive the throw in from the sideline. Philip Santor, interesting move by the Tuskers, being subbed out as Tuskers make it a little bit closer. But Martin in for the 2, bounces off the basket, no good.
Byram, number 10. Oh, and tries to get up for a 2. Does not get it.
Number 10 catches the ball of Miller.
Penalty will be called against Somers, giving Byram a free throw here with 4 minutes on the clock.
So first we have number 10. We have number 10 Miller up for the first free throw. Goes in.
Okay. Miller for a second free throw.
And it bounces off the basket. It does not go
They
in.
get the rebound. Goes up, tries to get three, does not get it.
And it's taken by Wallow of Somers. Wow, what a game for him. To Ben O'Brien, back to Wallow. Wayo, the ball. Now Ben O'Brien with the ball. Back to Martin, a sophomore in Somers High School, to Quinones. I believe the only starter in currently. To Monahan. Monahan finds Martin. O'Brien also a starter in. And stolen by Byram Hill.
Number 1. Byram over to 2.
Of a Bendo.
10. Trying to find their way around. It goes up for 3 and gets it in. Number 15.
And we got Miller dribbling down the court now to Quinones. Playing fast offense right now. Maybe working against this Byram Hills squad. We got Monahan with the ball. Monahan finds O'Brien. Back to Wyo. That goes out of bounds for Byram Hill.
Byram, number 1, Amenito. Up for 3 again. Does not get it. Looks like the net is tied. Ball's called dead. Number 5, I believe, has, yep. Number 5 on the holding here. Looks like some Somers players are switching up.
So we have Santor back in. We also have back in. We have Kemming and Spano. So the 5 starters started the whole starting lineup back in for the Tuskers. They're currently down. They're currently down by 18, but you can never rule the Tuskers out till the clock's at 0. Up for the basket, Quinones, it hits the basket, does not go in, but Spano with the rebound. Spano gets it, and the Tuskers get a 2. Chris Spano, what a play by him. He did not get the basket, was able to get the rebound, went up for the 2, and got a rebound on top of that. So now we have Chris Spano up for the rebound, and he gets it.
Number 10. Miller. So passed around over to 2. Nearly taken by Somers. Number 10, Miller back in 11. And it gets picked.
Stolen by Quinones. Quinones to Kemming. Kemming with the ball. Kemming finds Spano. Spano now dribbling down to the court. Passes to Santor. Santor to O'Brien. O'Brien to Quinones. Quinones now with the ball. Quinones. Low pass to Spano. Now Kemming. Back to Santor. A lot of movement with the ball. Up for the 3. Bounces in the basket, but falls on out.
Number 2, Wolf. Gets it over to 10. Miller. Over to 15. 11 goes up for 3. Unguarded and does not get it.
So now with the ball, we have Santor, Philip Santor with the ball. Santor dribbling. Dribbling the ball to Kemming. Kemming now with the ball. Kemming looking for an open man. And it's going to be stolen by Byram Hill.
Byram up for the 2. Unguarded. Number 11. Dralinger.
So we have Quinones with the ball, dribbling down the court. Santor to Santor now. We got O'Brien with the ball. We have 40 seconds. This game is going by fast, and the ball goes out of bounds. And tune in as this weekend we got an exciting halftime show, and this weekend we have some exciting games, which we're gonna predict quickly. Possibly maybe once talking to club on Wednesday, possibly seeing who's available, calling one of those games, or maybe even both. We have the AFC and NFC Championship. But now we're back.
Wolf staying still here. It looks like something might be wrong. Guess he's just running the clock.
So yeah, they're just letting the clock run out.
Oh,
Santor steals it, goes up for the 2, and it goes in! The Tuskers are gonna make the game 15, stored by Kemming to Santor, it goes in! What an end to the first half! The Tuskers, led by Kemming and Santor, add 4 points to the scoreboard. What an ending to the first half! And stay tuned for our halftime show. What an ending. The Tuskers. It's never over till the game clock says 0. They are still trying. They made it a 13-point game as we head into halftime. And what a first half. It was right out of the gate. It was Byram Hill dominating. At one point they were up 18-2. They were up 22-7 at the end of the first quarter. But Somers making it a bit closer, making it to a 13-point game and making it 36-23 at halftime. And Byram Hill, Somers has been playing pretty good in Byram Hill in the second quarter. Pretty much, it was a 16-point game. It was a 13-point game now. Going into the end of the first quarter, it was a 15-point game, so Byram Hill only got 1 more point. So Somers able to keep up with Byram Hill in the second. And an impressive game by Somers, second quarter. So those are my thoughts, and there's so many best plays, but I gotta go for Somers at least. Byram Hill had so many good plays, it's hard to keep track. I gotta say that Spano play, but also, what about right at the end, those 2 plays with Kemming and Santor getting the basket and getting it in. And Kemming and Santor working together to get those 4 points. It was 36-19. They're gonna make it 36-23. And yeah, so as we're waiting for my co-commentator to come back, join me for the halftime show, let's just continue. So we got some games this weekend. The Commanders stunning the Lions last week. That busted all my Super Bowl brackets. I had the Lions beating the Chiefs, as you very well should know. Also, basically the whole club had the Lions making the Super Bowl, Philip and Brandon. But yeah, it's basically, it's a lot could happen, and the Eagles take on the Commanders. I think it's going to be Eagles, and then the Chiefs and Bills. That's going to be a good game. It's going to be the Chiefs. As much as I hate to say it, and I want it to be the Bills so bad, I want to see Bills Commanders or Bills Eagles. I'd be happy with that. I just know it's gonna be Chiefs Eagles, the Chiefs winning, and that is my prediction. I gotta go with the facts and what I think's gonna happen than what I want to happen, and that is a case there. So we'll be back in a second. So my thoughts of the first half is basically just Somers has been able to do. They've been able to keep up in that second quarter, but Byram Hill is just a too powerful team, and they really are good dominating over the Tuskers. Gene, what are your thoughts on the first half?
I mean, it was definitely a show there by Byram. They definitely dominated for a good amount of the game, especially at the beginning. It was like 22-3, something like that. And yeah, it started to get a little rough for Somers, but I mean, especially with that performance at the end, I'm sure that's definitely going to help him out. There's two pointers at literally like 10 seconds remaining on the clock, so I'm sure that'll definitely boost some confidence, definitely make some stuff happen. And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next. Somers could recover here. Not too far behind.
And what play? I already talked about mine. That ending, that was really impressive by Santor and Kemming, those 2 baskets. I think that's play of the game. But what do you think the play of the game so far is that you've seen?
I mean, I think I definitely have to agree with you there. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the main play, especially recently. I think just overall Somers starting to come back definitely helped him out.
Yeah, and that ending was great. See that it's gonna be the highlights next episode. Just telling you, and check out our most recent episode of Soma Sports Broadcast. We're Soma Sports Broadcast. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Coach, we interview Soma's boys varsity basketball head coach, Coach James, and we learn a lot from interesting stuff like about him, about the New York. We learn about the New York Basketball Academy and that he's the founder of that, what he does in that, and like how he keeps the athletes engaged in the game, what type of coaching style he has, what about coaching he enjoys the most, and where he went to coaching before here. Give you a little preview. He originally went to high school, and then he started off in Carmel and learned about his 2-year career in the Tuskers as the Tuskers head coach so far. But heading in, we have about a minute left before we'd head back out. But most impressive player in the first half, you got to say Phillips out of Somas. We got Santor and Kemming, but I think it's Kemming, also Spano, but it's Mendo on Byram Hill. Also, I'll put Fobi and Wolf in there for Byram Hill. They'll just be able, and Caesar as well. They've just been able to do what needed to get done, and they're tall, they're very big players, and that is a big advantage for Byram Hill. But what will happen in the second half? Somas was on a roll in that second quarter, but if you've seen this team play before, Byram Hill, I'm sure, will be halftime. They're going to rebound like Somas Tuskers football, Somas Tuskers football. They regroup at halftime. I think Byram Hill is going to do the same. They are going to pull ahead, and I think they are going to wind up taking this one. But because I am Somers, and because why not, I think the Tuskers are going to come back, and they're going to get it on a buzzer beater, 59-58. But realistically, I think it is going to be Byram Hill. I'm going to predict the Tuskers because I am a Tusker, and I've got to predict the Tuskers. But Byram Hill, I think, personally, is going to get it done 65. I think they get it within 15. 65 to 50 is going to be the final score. And, yeah, that's my prediction. Jaden, what's your final score prediction for this game?
Man, I'm thinking that, I mean, it's a little difficult for me, but I think Somers is probably going to get up to possibly 45 points. Maybe Byram could take it, getting 50, 55.
All right, so I want to thank everyone who tuned in to our halftime show, and we will be right back after a commercial break. Watch the Soma Sports Broadcast, where we break down the world of sports.
Back, he throws. There's 2 defenders on the tight end.
Interview guests.
We're here with Coach Packard, who will be interviewing today.
Predict upcoming sport games.
To win it 26-23, the Chargers win.
Debate sports.
Who is the best NFL team of all time?
The Cowboys have won 5 Super Bowl titles.
The Patriots, one of the best teams.
Discuss our opinions on the latest in the world of sports.
Alex Bowman, I think he could make it far. He's been impressive.
And much more.
A fumble. This could be game.
I'm with
Nicky Duffy.
Dean Palzall.
I would definitely say DP, Dean Palzolo. He definitely had a great game.
Just a Hail Mary. Will he get it? Bounces off the Bears defenders. Touchdown.
When I first joined last year, you wanted me long distance, but then you threw it.
And I think by now we've really proved that we are the most dominant team in Section 1.
It's going to be a pick. Picked off by Miguel Iglesias, and he's going back
Watch our weekly talk show episodes of the Soma Sports broadcast. You can find them on YouTube and Spotify.
And welcome back. What a first half by in this game by Byram Hill. Tusker was able to battle back, make it a bit closer in the second quarter, but it's really been all Byram Hill dominating from the beginning to end. And as we get ready for the second half, welcome back. As you see the great camera view of the Somas High School, the location of where this game is today. Stay tuned, as on Friday we may possibly, I plan to we may possibly be doing the girls varsity basketball game. So stay tuned and we'll see. Hope you guys can tune in for that. If we're able to do that, follow our Twitter and Instagram before we get started. Our Twitter and Instagram and Facebook is where you can find the links to our stream and find out if we're doing streams or not. Also, make sure to put it up on our YouTube by subscribe to our YouTube, the Soma Sports Podcast, for everything there. But we get ready as we get started for the second half. Amendo is gonna throw it out for Byram Hill.
Okay, number 10, Miller, starting off for Byram Hills here. Over to number 5. And the play is called dead before he gets it up.
So throwing it back out, Byram Hill. Byram Hill throws it back out. It's going to be up for the basket and in of Celia. Now Santor with the ball. Santor looking, he finds O'Brien. O'Brien gives it back to Santor. Santor up for the 3 and he gets it! And folks, this is a 12-point game. Tusker is making this close. Philip Santor, what a game for him. He is probably the player of the game. And comment in the live chat, who is player of the game? So now, coming back out. Throwing it back in is Miller. Basket goes. It goes in for Byram Hill. Now Tusker's Kemming with the ball. Kemming finds trick play to O'Brien. Now to Santor. Spano with the ball. Spano to Santor. Up for the basket. It goes in. Another 3 for Santor. It's a 11-point game, folks.
All right, Miller, the 5. Now the ball's in the paint, but goes out for 3 and hits the rim. Number 1, Amendo. Goes in for the paint for 2. And it's taken again by Byram, number 10, Miller. Trying to find his way. Passes to 4. 2. 5 tries to go up. And looks like Somers falls again.
Bobby tripped up. Kemming down.
Looks like Byram's actually going to get the free throws here.
So Bobby shooting the free throws. First one is up and no good.
Okay, so he's going to get a second one here. Looks like player Monahan came in.
Bobby's second free throw goes up. It goes in, and we got a 12-point game. Here goes Santor, dribbling down the court. Santor finds Monahan, back to Quinones. Quinones to Santor, up for the 3, hits the basket, no good, stolen by Bobby.
Over to Amendo. Trying to find his way. Gets over. And gets in for the 3. Number 4. Number 4, Caesar.
So we got Quinones with the ball to Kemming.
Taken by Miller for Byram. Amendo fails to get it up for the 2. Ball stays recovered. And number 2,
Number
Byram
2
Wolf
of
gets it in.
Benjamin Wolf. We got Santor with the ball. Santor decides to keep it. Now to Kemming, stolen by Amendio.
Very far pass over to Miller. That's Wolf in and gets a 2-point.
Miller gets the basket, and looks like we
Timeout
have a
is called.
timeout called. Timeout. We'll see. We'll see what team, but got an exciting game. We had an exciting game. The Tuskers made it an 11-point game, but then Byram Hill just went on an 8-point one, and now we got a 48-29 game. And yeah, Byram Hill, despite the start, they came to play on this 8-point one, and in the NBA, ones usually get answered pretty much right away. So now Tuskers need to work together and go on a run. Assume this was a Tuskers timeout.
Okay, Somers going to start on the opposite side.
So Santor goes out to Kemming. Kemming dribbling down the court. Kemming finds Quinones. Quinones with the ball to Monahan. Timmy Monahan to Kemming. Kemming to O'Brien. Up for the basket for the Tuskers. O'Brien.
Miller has the ball now with the 4 over. Now the ball's in the paint. Passes out to Miller. Miller tries to get up, it's blocked, but Ifobi dunks it in.
It is going to be the 5 of Ifobi, but we have Ben O'Brien with the ball to Santor. Philip Santor putting out multiple threes in this game. To Quinones. Quinones up for the 2. It's the backboard stolen by Ifobi.
Miller goes up very fast.
Stolen back by Kemming. There goes O'Brien. O'Brien to Santor. Santor up for the basket. Hits the rim. Does not go in, but rebounded by Monahan. Eventually stolen by Byram Hill, number 4 of Caesar.
A minute 02. It tries to go for a 3. Does not get it. Before Caesar on that attempted 3.
So
looks like Byram is going to throw it in here.
Ben O'Brien.
To Merito. In the paint. Tries to go for 2. Does not get it.
And stolen by Monahan to Santor. Ben O'Brien with the ball. We have O'Brien. O'Brien going, finds Kemming. Kemming up for the basket. It goes in. A basket. Leo Kemming gets it for the Tuskers.
Okay, number 10 over to 15. Looks like he's back in for Byram. Number 1 in the paint. Tries to get up. Emilio with a 2-point. Is a 19-point game with Byram leading 52-33.
We got O'Brien with the ball now. O'Brien finds Kemming to Santor. Santor back to Quinones. Quinones to Kemming, and
Okay, number 10, Miller. Trying to find his way. Gets it over to 15, who's back in again. Merito with the ball, trying to find his way. Gets over to Miller, up for 3, and does not get it in.
and taken back by the Tuskers. Here goes Santor. It is currently a 19-point game. Santor to Quinones, to Monahan, back to Quinones. Quinones with the ball, finds O'Brien, up for the 3, it goes in! The Tuskers giving a fight. It's currently a 52-36 game.
Meadow. Little roughing there by Byram.
And it's taken by Santor. Santor dribbling down the court. It goes up, hits the backboard, no good.
Meadow passes over to 4. Gets up, almost gets into 2. Passes over to Meadow, gets in the paint. Practically unguarded, gets it in.
So now Ben O'Brien throwing it back into Somers. Here goes Quinones. Quinones, shooting down the court. Up for the 3, Kemming bounces off the basket, no good.
Kendall over to Meadow. Oh, near steal by Somers, and goes out of bounds in an attempt to pass to Miller.
So it's gonna be the Tuskers ball. Here comes Quinones, dribbling down the court. Finds O'Brien. Ryo back out there. Santor. That's gonna be foul called on Byram Hill. I apologize. Yes, and the Tuskers will get the ball back. Finds Santor up for the 3, hits the basket, does not go in. Stolen by Byram Hill, number 15, going up for the basket, goes out of bounds.
Kendall tries to get it up, but is blocked, cannot get anywhere near. Goes straight out of bounds. Looks like Miller's gonna start with the ball here. Miller trying to, throws it deep to Kendall. Over to Meadow. Just looking. It's over to Miller. Tries to get up and gets it to number 23 now in for Byram.
So now Monahan throws it in. Now Santor at the ball. Santor going. Santor to O'Brien. O'Brien to Quinones. Quinones going back to Monahan. Back to Ryo. Back to Santor. It's the basket and it goes in. And now Santor is going to be on for an extra point, adding a free throw. This makes it, once again, this is going to make it a 17-point game with getting this free throw. First free throw is up. It's good. No jinx there. No announcer jinx there.
Kendall for Byram Hills going to start off here. Passes Miller. With about 23 seconds left on the clock. They gotta make something happen if they want the score to change until next quarter. Looks like they're just messing around, maybe trying to run the clock a little bit. With a minute. There we go.
With the ball.
Trying to go up and get
stolen by Somers. Monahan going up for the basket. Hits the backboard. They do not get it. He almost
seconds.
Got it yet. He almost got it, but with 0.4 seconds left. Monahan is going to have a chance to do the free throws. The first free throw goes up. Hits the basket, and it goes in! So a 16-point game for the Tuskers. Timmy Monahan, if you don't know, he's a senior. His younger brother, Mitch Monahan, plays on the JV team as well. And the second one goes up. He is also plays on the Somers Varsity football team, number 50. And he touches it right before the quarter ends, and that is the end of the third quarter. And what plays do we expect to see from Byram? A lot of lobs and a lot of their big man. And a ton of three-pointer attempts from their guards. Haven't gotten a ton of three-pointers, a lot of twos, I feel like. They gotten some threes, but not as much as they could. And some interesting storylines. I talked about this earlier, but Chris Decker and Juliana Rosa are out for this game. Some key losses for the Tuskers, and so the storylines. But how is Somers similar and different compared to Byram? And Coach James didn't really didn't really have anything to say about them being similar but different. Somers is much undersized compared to Byram. Byram is a big team, as you could see here. A lot of big players on them. That is a big reason why they currently sit at 11-1. So Spano with the ball back to Santor. Back to Spano. Spano to Santor. Martin also out there as well for the Tuskers. Martin going to Quinones. Quinones up for the basket. It's taken. Stolen by Byram Hills.
Okay, made it out.
And stolen by Monahan. Monahan going back. The also varsity football player passes to Martin. Martin throws it out right into number 1 of Amendo's hands.
Okay, 15. Kendall up for 3, does not get it. 23 recovers.
And it's going to be stolen by Martin. Martin now dribbling down the court. And Martin now with the ball, slowing down a bit, but finds Santor, guarded by Amendia. Santor up, one guarded by one. It's tapped. It does not go in. It's Byram Hills' ball.
Okay, Byram, number 1 Minito, up and gets it in. Players called dead once the ball was up, though. So that's going to count. "17-point lead, number Minito, number 1. Free throw.
First free throw hits the backboard, and it's no good as Martin now with the ball, dribbling down the court. Martin finds Santor. Santor to Spano. Spano back to Quinones. Quinones with the ball. Quinones finds Monahan. Monahan now with the ball. Tries to throw to Spano, and it goes out of bounds. Monahan tries to attempt the throw to his cousin, Spano, as it goes out of bounds. And it's Byram who's going to take it over.
Number 2, Wolf, starting it with it. Now we have Drellinger back in for Byram. Currently has the ball, trying to find. So in the pass, too, gets it over to Wolf, over to Menito, almost goes out of bounds. Menito's outside 3-point line with Karif Martin blocking him. Okay, outside 3-point line, unguarded, and does not get in. They got the rebound, but couldn't get up. Number 11, Drellinger, on that attempted 3-point. Looks like a free throw for Byram.
So Byram, they came into this game sitting at 11-1. They're a good team, and what strategies has Somers used in the past against Byram? It's basically doubling the big man and being able to control the tempo. Something that a little tough for Somers to do today. They've been able to do it a bit, but not the whole time. And then also making big plays when it mattered down the stretch. And they did make, the Tuskers have been able to make some big plays today. But making the free throws, it's Quinones with the ball. Quinones to Martin. Martin now. Back to Quinones. Quinones going. Quinones looking. Going up for the basket. Bounces off the basket. No good, but rebounded by Monahan. Timmy Monahan playing pretty good basketball in this game.
Menito up for the 2. Completely unguarded. Ran ahead of the rest of the players.
Santor with the ball. We have Santor. Can't find an open man. It's going to be stolen by number 15 of Kendall.
Number 2, Wolf over to Kendall. Up for 3 unguarded and does not get it for Byram. 11 tries to get it for 2, does not get it. Looks like a minute on that attempted 3-point. 4 minutes, 56 seconds left on the clock with a 21-point difference. Byram is leading 62-41.
And if Byram is able to hold on, they move on to a 12-1 record. That moves Somers to 2-10, and they still need to get 4 more wins to get into the playoffs. So Somers needs to figure some stuff out for the next opponent. But I believe if they put their mind to it, they'll be able to get it done. At the same time, though, all the other teams that they play have the same exact goals.
Looks like we have now 2 sophomores, Matthew Adelman and Kareef Martin, in for Somers. 11 gets it up for Byram.
Now,
Dralinger on
now
that free throw.
dribbling down the court, we have number 12 in for Somers. Martin throws it back out to Santor. Santor with the ball. Santor back to Martin. Martin for the 3. Hits the basket. No good, but rebounded by Monahan to number 12. Santor touches it as it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Byram Hill's ball. Byram Hill, these teams have played a lot. Another matchup that they played back in 2022. Byram Hill won this one. It was 69-63 was the final score on February 22nd, late in the basketball season. And then Somers, of course, winning the 2 matchups just last year. Byram Hill coming off a win, however, versus Tappan Zee.
11 Dralinger to 14, who's now in. And number 3 as well is now in. 23. Looks like a lot of switching up of players here for Byram. Number 3 tries to get it up, does not get it.
And throws it. Monahan throws it. That does not work out as he throws it, and it rolls out of bounds. So the Tuskers able to put up an impressive performance today as Byram's ball after a rough buzzer beater loss to Lakeland just a week ago.
Number 14, Weller, up, gets it for 2.
Now Santor dribbling down the court. While out there, so is Martin, number 12, and Spano. Those are your current 5 in the game. Santor up for the basket, no good.
Taken by Nizaj to Welly. Was up for 3, hits the rim. Number 22 now in for Byram. Taken by Welly. Number 3 up. And does not get for 3. Now over to 23. Now 20. Looks like the entire team has switched up the players. 23 up and gets it
And
for the
gets it
dunk.
in, and back to Philip Santor. One player in the NBA I'd compare him to. A great leader on the team, someone who gets a lot of threes, and just great leader, along with Spano, Hemming, and Decker. Just similar team overall. I gotta compare this Somers Tuskers team to my Boston Celtics, despite not being able to win. I feel like the Somers Tuskers and the Celtics have a lot of common factors. I'd compare Santor as he gets the basket, similar to Jason Tatum, and then we put Chris Decker as the Jaylen Brown of the team, and of course Spano being the Marcus Smart.
Travel is called on Byram. Looks like on Sokolov.
As of course looking back to the 2022 Celtics, not this year's. But we have Martin now with the ball. Martin dribbling down the court. Martin finds Ben O'Brien. O'Brien to Spano to Martin. That's going to be called as foul. So now Spano is going to get two free throws. It is currently a 14-point game. My apologies, currently a 24-point game. It was off by 7 there. Spano's second basket up and good. And the Tuskers making it a bit closer as it's now down to a 23-point game.
2 minutes on the clock. Byram, number 14, Welly, goes up for 3, does not get in. Yeah, 23 takes it, but the play is called dead. It's like number 23 got foul called on him.
.150 left in this game. This game flew by with the ball right now. Number 20 of Freiburg.
Over 23, Nazaj. Freiburg over. Trying to get in that paint. Number 20, Freiburg up and gets it in for a 2-point.
So wow, it's gonna throw it out for the Tuskers to Martin. There goes Martin. Martin finds O'Brien. O'Brien. And whistle is called, play is called. Ball's gonna be thrown out of bounds, but it's gonna be Wow throwing it in. Sorry about that, a little bit of a yawn there, but Martin now with the ball. For the Tuskers, 69-45 is your score. It is a 24-point game. Up for the basket. Does not go in. Byram Hill. Now number 20 with the ball.
Freiburg passes the 3 for Byram. Minute on the clock. Gets it up. Tries to get a 3. Number 20 Freiburg does not get
And
it.
stolen by number 12 for Somers, dribbling down the court. This time the Somers Tuskers have all their scrubs in, their backups in. As Martin gets the 3. A 3 for the Tuskers. But already Byram Hill back down the court.
Now Welly with the ball passes over to number 3 for Byram. Play 2, really guarded there by Somers. And try to get it over to number 3, does not.
He just throws
He doesn't
it.
pick it up. Intended for Dooley. Aiden
Just throws
Dooley.
it out of bounds as Martin now dribbling down the court. Martin going, Martin up. It's in! Tuskers hit 50, making it just a 19-point game with a 5.1 for the Tuskers to end things out.
Number 3, Dooley. 8 seconds on the clock. Now over to Welly for Byram. 22. Nazaj.
And Byram Hill is gonna take this one 69-50. Byram Hill is gonna take it, winning by 19. And folks, that is your game. Byram Hill takes this one 69-50. And the final thought in this game is, Somers fought. They played pretty good. They were able to fight and keep this game exciting, but at the end of the day, Byram Hill was just too good of a team for the Tuskers to beat. And Byram Hill came victorious in this one. But I want to thank everyone for coming today. Jaden, do you have any final thoughts on this game before we go?
Yeah, I think it was a great competition. A big wall put up there by Byram to try to get in. And yeah, Somers could not get it, but they did get a high-scoring game. Both teams really. Final scores on the screen. Yeah, it ended up being pretty close for such a tough competitor.
All right, well, yeah, I want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight. Byram Hill. The Bobcats take it 69-50. That is your final score. Thank you for watching. and we'll see you next time. I'm Benny Silk, joined by Jaden Ferry, and I'll see you next time.